everyone. This time of year is all about tulips, and in a town by us called Pella is a celebration this week called Tulip Time. Pella's a big Dutch town, and the buildings are all done in Dutch architecture. There's over 300,000 blooming tulips, and it's just beautiful. There's Dutch foods and parades, and everyone is dressed in the costumes of the area of the Netherlands their family is from. Later in May, they replaced the tulips with 45 varieties of 32,000 plus annual flowers and plants for color late into the summer. Did you know the tulip was originally a wild flower that grew in Central Asia and was first cultivated by the Turks in 1000 AD? The Turks, well, they lived in Turkey. I wonder if that's where turkeys come from. Anyway, in the 16th century, tulip mania struck at the time of the Ottoman Empire. I wonder if they were famous for making ottomans. I don't know. And were there Futonians that made futons? And who came up with wooden shoes? Cobblers or carpenters? I just wonder, I don't know. So anyway, during this mania, tulips cost 10 times more than a working person's average salary in the Netherlands. And that's more than a lot of homes did. Wow! In the 20th century, it was discovered that the frilly petals and flames that some varieties had, well, they were symptoms of an infection by the mosaic virus. The virus came to the tulip from a louse living on peaches and potatoes. You know, my mom said she had a friend or two whose husbands must have had a virus too, because they were louses who lived on meat and potatoes. I'm not kidding. There didn't seem to be a cure for that virus, though. The pretty tulips now are hybrids that don't have the virus. Tulip petals are edible. During the Dutch famine in 1944 and World War II, people often resorted to eating sugar beets and tulip bulbs are edible too. And there's tulip festivals all around the globe. Yep, the biggest is in the Netherlands, and they're the world's largest commercial producer of tulips also. And there's an international tulip festival in Istanbul, Turkey, which is where the tulip originated, and it's the national flower there. And in Britain, one of the most beautiful places to see is Pashley Manor Gardens in East Sussex, England. There's 48,000 tulips, 105 varieties. The grounds there are beautiful. You should go on the internet and look it up because it's just beautiful. And it's also rumored that Anne Boleyn spent some of her childhood at Pashley Manor. And also, you know, my mom says it would have been in her best interest to just move in there and maybe just live there forever because, you know, it would have helped her keep her head on. Oh, yeah. So the Canadian Tulip Festival, it began to celebrate the historic royal gift of tulips from the Dutch to the Canadians immediately following the Second World War as a symbol of international friendship. And it preserves the memorable role of the Canadian troops in the liberation of the Netherlands and Europe, and also commemorates the birth of Dutch Princess Margriet in Ottawa during World War II, the only royal personage ever born in Canada. And the Tonami Tulip Fair in Japan has 2.5 million tulips of 600 varieties, and it's been the leading producer of tulips in Japan since clear back to 1918. And finally, in the United States, in Holland, Michigan, that's the largest festival here, with 6 million tulips and over 600 visitors every year. And in 1950, Mr. Valdir started a hobby farm there with 100 red and 300 white bulbs, and today, guess what? They plant over 4 million tulips. Holy cow! My mom and I don't get it because the tulip doesn't really bloom very long, but somebody must have put some kind of like spell on tulips that just made everybody love them because they just last a short time, or maybe that's why they're so beloved. And I have to do this before I close. Where do bees go to learn about pollinating tulips? Plant Parenthood. I like that one. You guys all have a wonderful week. I will be tuning in to watch the King's thing. I can't think of what you call it now. Isn't that funny? But I'll be watching that on Saturday. I'll probably have to get up very, very early. But I'm kind of excited to watch that. I don't think I've ever seen one since, yeah, Queen Elizabeth was crowned long before I was born. So you guys have a great week, and always remember that I just love you so very much. Bye-bye.